Hello, everyone, and welcome to 5 Easy Ways to Build Relationships, Gain More Clients, and Keep the Ones You've Got. My name is Christine Morris. I am a business and productivity mentor. I help female entrepreneurs get control of their business so that they can live happier, more fulfilling lives. And I do this through my online mastermind, workshops, and my free Facebook community called the Fabulously Balanced Life Community. So if you're not there, I encourage you to look us up on Facebook and join us. Part of my focus for the next couple months is to really grow that community as a safe place for entrepreneurs to share ideas and really get support as they grow their business. A little about me. I started my business 10 years ago as a virtual assistant. I built a multi-VA team and then worked with some high-profile clients as an online business manager. So I've really been through many areas of business development. I also went through a period where I lost it all and had to start over after losing our home to a house fire. But that entire experience really renewed my focus on helping women live a more balanced and fulfilling life. You can find me at fabulouslyBalancedLife.com or ChristineMorris.com. Both are going to take you to the same location. And at the end of this webinar, I'm going to be sharing some information on how you can join the Fabulously Balanced Life Academy Mastermind for just $7. If you did not get the webinar handout, the link is on the screen. And I'll also be sending that out in an email to those of you who had registered. All right, let's get started. We've all heard the phrase relationship marketing tossed around frequently in the last few years. And it's talked about so much that it's almost become cliche. But there are two words at play here, and both have equal weight: relationship and marketing. It's not spending all day hanging out with your customers on Facebook. It's not about being unnaturally warm and fuzzy. It's about using relationship building as a very specific marketing strategy. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't be friendly, authentic, and caring, but it does mean that you have to understand the reason behind choosing this type of marketing. Relationship marketing should directly help you to reach a specific goal. And the goal in relationship marketing is fairly simple: create long-term customer loyalty and continued engagement. You're going for the long-term commitment. You want to create customers for life. This means that relationship marketing is for any type of business where customer retention is vital. A virtual assistant needs to get to know her clients as well as she knows herself. She wants the journey to continue as long as her client needs her, and ideally beyond that. For those of us that are in training and mentoring, you don't want someone who is afraid to take the leap all their life. You want a client that's going to reach their goal. They're going to take that leap to the next level and they're going to succeed. But even when they do, that relationship doesn't end there. You want someone to remember you and to recommend you after they've reached their goal. You want to grow with them, someone happy to enter a joint venture with you, somebody that's going to be happy to refer you to their family and friends, to promote your products with passion and enthusiasm, and to happily interview you or be interviewed by you for their products and services. You want to help your ideal client be the best that they can be. And if that is your focus, then relationship-based marketing is absolutely vital to the success of your business. Relationship-based marketing is going to give you visibility, authority, a stellar reputation, and happy and enthusiastic fans. Relationship-based marketing grows your business and it keeps them coming back, eager to invest in whatever you present. "I buy everything that she puts out" is a comment that you often hear about leaders like this. Now, building this sort of interactive customer-client base is all well and good if you're an extrovert. But what if you know that you're actually an introvert? What if putting yourself out there is extra hard for you? If so, then you're in good company. Both Bill Gates and Mark Zuckerberg are introverts. Guy Kawasaki is an introvert, J.K. Rowling, Meryl Streep, former President Barack Obama, Abraham Lincoln, Albert Einstein, they're all born introverts. I'm an introvert, and there are many, many more, even people that may surprise you who are introverts. So why do introverts do it? Why do they work so hard to develop traits that are not naturally born with? Why do they put themselves out there when it's the last thing that they really want to do? Well, if you are an introvert, you've probably asked yourself the same exact question, and I know I have. It all has to do with being the best that you can be and in genuinely wanting to help other people. If you're an introvert, it's important to realize that you naturally have unique strengths and insights that introverts may have to work hard to develop. Empathy, curiosity, open-mindedness, rigid thinking just isn't for you. And above all, you have compassion, the compassion that helps you understand what it is like to be in your ideal client's shoes. You know what she's going through because you've probably been there. You excel in things people don't realize how special they truly are. You're also solution-oriented, proactive, and determined. Now let's not forget the extroverts. They have many challenges too, and that's why you'll often find them in acquisitions type marketing, where the quick sale is everything, and they're not worried about repeat business. They may actually be more focused on the numbers. Extroverts are action-oriented. So it all boils down to this. Relationship marketing is a satisfying, fulfilling strategy for those who genuinely care and for whom the real reward is in seeing others successful and happy. So let's take a look at the 5 ways to build those all-important relationships. Number 1 is be social. Being social is a habit that you can acquire even if you're an introvert. But you have to quite deliberately and consciously make it a habit, and you have to do it in a way that feels comfortable and rewarding to you. Let's look at a few ways that we can be social. So the first is to be present and personable on social networks, and specifically where your ideal client is hanging out. If she is not on Twitter, don't waste your time. But if she's on LinkedIn, you're going to want to be there too. So that's the goal. But how do we make it comfortable? You start off by realizing that it is not a waste of time. If you're worrying the whole time that you're scanning social media, you're not thinking about your ideal client and their needs. You're worrying about not taking action. Just realize that this is an action that you need to be taking and set it up so that it becomes easy to you and that you actually enjoy it. So how do you do that? The first way is to set limits. If you're the sort of person who finds that they need to retreat and recharge their batteries after spending time with people, limits will be especially important to you. Decide what works for you. It could be 15 minutes every morning, maybe a half hour at the end of the day. Whatever works, pick a number and faithfully follow that schedule every day. If, on the other hand, you can easily spend all day on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, you're going to set similar limits so that you're not wasting away the day without working towards your goals. Self-awareness can be a much bigger motivator than simply picking an arbitrary number and telling yourself that you must do something. Make sure that you're hanging out with the right crowd. When you hang out with your true friends, there's nothing calculated about it. It feels natural. You're not telling yourself that you should be there. You love being with them. You enjoy talking to them, discussing things, sharing, and helping. Sure, us introverts have to go home and recharge with some alone time after a get together, and you may even have started out by wishing you didn't have to go. But once you get there, you almost always have a great time. It's the same way with clients that you want to serve. You don't hang out with people that you can't relate to. You relish the fact that you all have your differences, but you also all share a common goal, and you share common values. When you are swept into discussions, you find yourself putting thoughts into a problem that someone has mentioned, and you find it easy to laugh with them as it is to empathize, then you know that you're with the right crowd. If you can help them, you will enjoy hanging out with them. And remember that the best sort of helping is often just sitting back and cheering their success or encouraging them to try something. That's really easy to do when you're with people you enjoy. So again, set that limit, decide on a time of day, and drag yourself to the party. If you've chosen the right audience, you're going to enjoy it and it will get easier. Another tip is to step out and share. The beauty of social media is that you can suit your interaction to your energy level. If you're having a down day, you can just monitor and make encouraging comments. If you're feeling high energy, you can and you should just jump in, make a Facebook Live video, share a tip, relay an experience that you had. You can ask questions, share what feels natural, but remember to push yourself a little too. You know that growth only happens when you get out of your comfort zone and explore. Speak up about things that you're passionate about, share an experience, laugh at yourself, and of course, share your feelings. The next tip is to really listen. And here's where being sociable and hanging with your community really becomes important. Really listening to your community. Being there doesn't mean that you have to talk all the time, and you definitely should not be selling on a social media platform, unless, of course, you're running an actual ad. But listening is not as passive as it may seem. Deep listening is a skill. It is active. It's paying attention. It's paying attention to more than just the words on your screen. It's hard to gauge tone from written posts. And you certainly can't read body language from social media, unless, of course, it's Facebook Live. But you can ask yourself questions such as, what is she really asking? What is her intent? Good listening is all about remembering. So if you have trouble keeping conversations or people straight in your head, don't hesitate to take notes about anything important. I don't mean obsessively taking notes about everything. Just make sure that you're clear on what's going on with someone that is likely to affect them in the immediate future, or make a note about particular frustrations that they're having. CEOs do it all the time, especially when they interact with several different core groups. But most of all, be there every day. That's the easiest way to get to know your audience. Watch their Facebook Live videos. That's a great way to get to know them. And of course, you can make Facebook Live videos yourself. That's a great way to get them to feel like they know you. It's the way they get to know your smile, to hear your speech, to watch your eyes. These are all things that can go a long way towards making a real connection. If you're part of their circle, they're more likely to trust you, and you are more likely to care about them. So being social is not just about chatting on social media. It's thinking up posts, infographics, or image quotes that are going to help entertain your followers. It's writing helpful blog posts or making a quick how-to video about something that they're struggling with. And don't do it just as a business strategy mindset. Do it in the spirit of helping and sharing. Social networks are not the be-all, end-all of building relationships with your community. Getting out and interacting in person is also very important. In fact, getting together with potential clients who live locally is very important. This may be your only opportunity to connect and reach this segment of your ideal market. So attend local festivals, attend local community events, volunteer in the community, give workshops at your local library or community center, join local organizations that are relevant to your business. You can also donate resources online and off, but always keep in mind that the social part of relationship building is key. It provides the foundation and core of creating repeat customers. The relationship, the fact that they feel they know you socially and that you are someone they know and trust, is what keeps them coming back. So what do you share? Share yourself. You can keep posts and in-person stories that you tell at seminars personal, as well as relevant to the focus of your talk or event. Also, be authentic. It's number 2. When business and life are good, share these stories. But when it's not good, a wonderful way to practice authenticity is to share the bad days as well. Your fans and followers will feel as if they are a part of your inner circle. When you let them into that private side of your life, even if it's just a tiny bit, as long as you're not venting or complaining, you're going to make a real connection. People relate best to people who experience the same doubts, setbacks, and struggles as them. They love to see you win because it helps them believe that they can win too. But be careful not to strive for perfection. Be a great leader and admit your flaws and failures too. Teaching from your failures is a wonderful way to help people realize that failure is not important. It's what we do with it and learn from it that helps us move forward. You're going to be leading by example, the sort of leadership that we all know works best. But there's more to being authentic than simply sharing failures as well as wins. In order to be authentic, you absolutely need to be living your actual life that your followers aspire to live. This means taking care of yourself, your mental and your spiritual health, and your personal relationships, as well as your business. A few suggestions I have for that: start every day with gratitude and a good breakfast, a nice green smoothie, whatever you're interested in, and go for a brisk walk for about 20 minutes before you actually sit down for work. It doesn't necessarily have to be a walk. It could be anything that wakes up your body, that will also sharpen your mind for the day and improve your mood. And I like to do this midday as well. Many of us get stuck sitting behind our desks, and just taking a few minutes to go for a quick walk definitely gives us a little change in perspective and beats that midday slump. Another tip is to work in a place that inspires you. Most people find that working in a noisy or messy workplace makes them feel less focused and less professional. They experience more stress and they tire more easily. So declutter your office of anything that isn't directly serving your needs or providing inspiration, and make sure your office or your office area is a real haven for you, even if it's just adding a painting or a plant. The point is to live your life as totally as you preach it. This is what is going to give you real authority. It's what will connect and make it easy for you to connect with others. But what if you have problem areas? If you have problem areas in your life, work on them. You are a leader. Take the action that you need to take. You just might inspire others. This is often what separates leaders from followers. Leaders are not afraid to face hard truths, and they take action. So if you need to hire a coach, hire somebody to help you, just get a handle on those sticky areas, then share your journey with your people. Because if you're having problems in a particular area, you can bet your community members are too. And the stickier the problem, the more they will appreciate your transparency and your authentic take on it. So here are some common areas that entrepreneurs have problems handling. Procrastination, balancing work, play, or family life, being workaholics, and not being able to switch things off. Living authentically is all about not pretending to be perfect. It's about remembering that you're not leading the journey, but you're actually on the journey with them. They're following you because you just happen to be a few steps ahead, or you're enjoying it more than they are at the moment. All right, number 3 is remember your manners. While it's great to be authentic and transparent, it's only common sense to put some boundaries on yourself, both for your own sake and to avoid boring or annoying your followers. Avoid being overly political, especially if hard-hitting stances on social and political issues are the polar opposite of your brand. You want to avoid religion, unless a big part of your marketing is your faith, or that you're marketing to members of that faith who are looking for spiritual support. Don't be rude, crude, or downright distasteful, unless, of course, that's your brand. And for some, that could be the case. But you don't want to, you're better off to say nothing at all than to drive an otherwise ideal client away with a casually dropped F-bomb. Again, unless that's your brand. Ideally, your community, especially on social media, should be a nurturing place. It should be a safe place to explore ideas, discuss, ask questions, and to grow. By all means, be authentic and tell it like it is, but do be aware of these few basic rules. All right, number 4, set aside your fears. Fear is a big one. Fear is what we all deal with in various forms over and over again. Just when you think you've got it licked, a new situation arises or something external in your industry changes. Think of Facebook. These changes often affect our business. No business can grow in the face of fear. If you're hiding behind your computer screen because you think you are too shy to put yourself out there in the spotlight, please stop. Be brave. Go live on Facebook. Step onto the stage to speak at an event. Reach out to other business owners with JV offers, and attend events hosted by others in your community. Something I always touch on, if technology is freaking you out, outsource it. If outsourcing is freaking you out, learn how to do it differently. And definitely reach out to me if you have questions on that. Identifying your fears is the first step to addressing them. So here are the 10 most common fears that most entrepreneurs face. Fear of failure. Fear of success. This was actually eye-opening when I first heard it, but it was the one that I was struggling with at the time. Fear that other people will find out you're a fraud. We've all dealt with that one. It's called imposter syndrome. Fear of setting specific, measurable goals, which is often just a fear of not reaching them. A fear of public speaking. A fear of how people will think or react to you. A fear of making commitments. A fear of being noticed. This is a common one for introverts, especially those who actually prefer being behind the scenes. A fear of giving up control, as in outsourcing or asking for help. And then a fear of accountability. Sometimes it can be helpful to just realize that all fears basically stem from breaking with a safe routine, a safe set of boundaries, or doing something differently. But there's one surefire cure for all these fears, and that's focusing on your community instead of dwelling on your own weakness. You want to help them, right? That's what inspires you, energizes you, and fills you with joy, especially when you see them all happily interacting. Just keep the focus on the friendship and the helping, and you'll be inspired to stretch those boundaries and get past your own fears. All right, and our fifth way to build relationships and grow your business is to know and live your brand. It's another simple strategy, no matter how casual you're being in a blog or social media post, is to live your brand. Find ways to do this that are fun. Most likely you've deliberately chosen a color palette for your brand, one that's represented on your website. So an easy way to stamp your branding in people's mind is to wear your brand colors in your photos, in your Facebook Lives, on webinars, workshops, even when attending live events. Here we see a picture of Kim Avery. She blogs about strategies for living your brand. And she talks about how she became known as the Red Jacket Lady through wearing her red jacket to events. Kim says, "I like the color red. It's fun, energetic, and full of life." And you can see that in her photo. She appears active, busy, and approachable. Apparently, even her Hummer is fire engine red. It's just a part of her brand. Be sure that when people encounter you virtually or in person, they not only instantly recognize you, but they immediately recognize your brand message, what you're all about. If your brand is baseball caps and lounging on the beach, a website filled with fancy fonts and gold or royal purple is going to be a mismatch. Likewise, if you want to build a business of high-end coaching clients, you're going to want to nix the $10 a month membership. The two simply do not go together. When your personality, mission, and message reach the right people, that's when you become memorable. That's when people start remembering you and looking for you. Remember, it's all about standing out from the crowd. All right, at the end, I'm going to be taking some questions, but first I wanted to let you know about something that can help you put all these principles and even more specific strategies into practice right away. I've created a 4-module training system complete with an action plan that you can implement at the end of every module. It's called Relationship-Based Marketing: Connections, Client Loyalty, and Cash. This quick and easy self-study course will help you through specific strategies of growing a healthy, active community, one that will eagerly buy everything that you put out just because you're the one creating or presenting it. In each of these modules, we're going to cover 4 key areas of relationship building to create a powerful brand. Module 1 is building strong relationships. This is all about how to put relationships first and attract more money without even thinking about it. We're going to cover the best ways to not only get noticed, but to be liked and trusted. What you need to know about building relationships through your blog, videos, podcasting, interviews, and paid advertising. We'll talk about building trust and what the real secret is. We'll discuss who people buy from, why they buy, and what you can do to make sure they're buying from you. We'll also cover building a strong community, one client at a time. Module 2 is stepping out of your comfort zone to make powerful connections. This module is going to show you how to take action right away and start effectively making powerful connections. We'll cover how to confidently handle JVs and get introductions, how to get and make the most of interview and speaking engagements, 6 ways to get out of your office while building your community at the same time, upping your visibility, handling Facebook Live and other appearance-based strategies, and the 6 genuine ways to really reach out to the people that you meet. Module 3 is turning clients into raving fans. Here we talk about learning focused strategies to underpromise and over-deliver. We'll cover the 3 ways to add relevant value to your relationships, turning your clients and followers into stars, the 2 things that you should do to make your community members succeed and tell the world, 2 quick ways to reward their loyalty and trust, and how to confidently make sure your products and programs super serve them. And then finally, Module 4 is maximizing your cash flow. Module 4 is all about moving to the next level with confidence. We'll cover how to identify leaks and gaps in your funnel and make sure that you fix them, the secret of keeping them buying and why you mustn't interrupt the process, how to keep your prospects not only engaged, but looking for more, why you shouldn't feel uncomfortable using your improved relationships to increase your rates. We'll also talk about high-end offers and how to add additional value while in most cases actually doing less work. And then we'll touch on hosting live events. When is it the perfect time and how do you do this without having a complete meltdown? This 4-module training is currently part of our Academy Mastermind, which includes the training, weekly live mastermind calls, and a private Facebook community. Normally this training would be $97, and membership to the Academy is currently closed. However, as a thank you for attending the webinar, I am offering a special trial for just $7. So if you are ready to build relationships with a community that energizes you and you want to learn shortcuts and tips that will help you connect even more, then you want to take advantage of this offer by going to fabulouslyBalancedLife.com/offer. Now this offer will expire on Friday. All right. Thank you again for attending today and for listening to this webinar. If you have any questions that were not answered during the live webinar, please feel free to email me or connect with me in our Facebook group. Thank you and have a fabulous day.